Hello gentlemen, today I'm going to break down more of the Packers playbook because this was very highly requested from the first video. If you didn't watch the first one and you're interested in watching it, I'll go ahead and drop the link in the description. And you can check that out after this one and combine them. And then if you guys want me to continue adding to this Packers playbook, just drop a like. That'll let me know that you guys are interested in me, staying in this playbook and creating more mini schemes out of these formations. So the formation we're going to be talking about today is going to be tight Y off. And the formation I talked about in part 1 was Y trips weak. So I really want to focus on these 11 personnel sets that are in this playbook. And like I mentioned in the first part, we have trips tight end. This is a meta formation. We have bunch strong offset, bunch tight end, bunch strong nasty. I'm not going to focus on those right now because those are meta formations. And I just want to be unique and do some off meta stuff. So we're going to be focusing on tight Y off. Okay, let's talk about the run plays and RPOs in this formation. So 0-1 trap is the standard run you should be using. I don't really like the inside zone too much. The 0-1 trap is pretty good. It goes to the tight end side, and we have a pulling guard going to the tight end side. But one thing I will mention is that the front that the defense is giving you matters. So like right here, this is borderline bare front. The defensive ends are in tight. They're not quite bare front because they're outside the guard shoulders. But, right here, this is not the greatest look to run 0-1 trap because everything's tight. Kind of got lucky there, still gained like 6 yards, but that's not the run. That's not the formation I would run it against. It'd be more like a spread line. Like this would be fine to run it against, but like dollar would be like a really good formation to force them to pinch their line. Right here, you could probably run it versus this as well, as long as they're not like pinched in like that bare front that I was talking about. It's like right here, even they mug the gaps, but it's still like a very wide front. So I'm okay with running it here. So that's what you want to look for with the 0-1 trap. Next, we have RPO Zone Alert Cheat Bubble, which is going to combine very nicely with two passing plays we're going to talk about later, which is cheat slash wheel cross and cheat spot Y quick. Love cheat motions this year. And all you're going to do for this one is read the bubble receiver. If you like it, throw it. If you don't, just let it hand off. Let's have a look. Anytime you see off coverage, you can probably get away with throwing this bubble. So again, it's off coverage. Try to make somebody miss. Maybe Christian Watson's maybe not the best guy to be running this, but he's fast, but he's not very shifty. Run it one more time. There we go. This is a good one. And then we have the standard RPO Alert Bubble, and I'm not going to run it a million times just because it's really the same thing without the cheat motion. So just kind of look at the bubble. If you like it, throw it. And then if you don't, let it hand off. Since I didn't really hand it off with the cheat motion, I'm just going to do it here. But I will say the cheat motion one is going to be better if you plan on handing it off because you do have that extra blocker from that cheat motion. So overall, the other one is better, but I can see how there's some appeal to this one because it doesn't have the cheat motion and you can just quick snap it faster. So you can use both of these. Okay, now let's get into the passing play. So we're going to talk about cheat spot Y quick first. So we'll talk about both cheat motion plays. And I didn't mention this, for the run plays, but you do want your tight end and your running back to be on the short side of the field. So you technically have your strong side to the short side here. And your twins receivers that are stacked, you do want them to be on the wide side. So what we're going to do for this setup is we're going to streak the underneath receiver, which is X. We're going to stem the corner route, which is Y, all the way down, like this. And then we're going to post the ISO receiver, which is B. And then you're going to triple option or block your running back. In this case, I'll send him out, put him on a triple option. So this is what your play art's going to look like. We have this cheat motion flat that can be thrown, all the time. I did this in the Miami ebook on acemadden.com if you guys are interested. It's very similar. You can throw this versus really anything. As long as they don't overcommit with their user, even hard flats you can throw at. This route is just insanely good. So you can see he was manned up. He has no chance of playing him. It's going to have to be a user overcommitting. Send this corner all the way down. So right here, I'll block my running back, and I'll just make a read between the corner and the post. Right here, you can throw right at that guy. In some cases, just make sure you practice that first. You get comfortable with that throw. In this case, I'll use the triple option again. Be very easy to hit this flat here. Not the best rack animation, but we still get, 4 or 5 yards. And you can, of course, hit the post as well. If they overcommit to the flat, you probably have the backside post. In this case, we don't. We have to take the checkdowns versus Tampa 2. You have to take the triple option from the running back or the flat. Like right here, we might be able to hit our post. Let's take a look. I think we can hit the post here. There we go. The next play is going to be PA Go Slot Cross, and this is a play that I break down in the Miami ebook that I dropped on acemadden.com. If you guys enjoy my setups, go check that ebook out. It's probably the best offense I've ever made. I hardly ever get stopped on offense. Usually it's self-inflicted. I know Madden 25 is not like a super defensive game, but I'm running off meta stuff and keeping up with a bunch of players that are just using meta stuff. So if you're interested in that, go check it out. You gain access to everything on the site by becoming a member. Okay, as for the setup, what we're going to do is out route the underneath receiver, which is X, slant your tight end, and then we're going to stem B, which is kind of like a wheel route almost. So hold LB down after you do. So Y, B, hold LB down for custom stem, left stick all the way up, and he becomes this route. And then for your running back, you can carry out the play action if you want. I found that it's better just to like reblock him if you do want to block him. And then if you want to send him out on a route, probably best to out route him. And the way you're going to read this, tight end slant and crosser from Y. That's pretty much it. That's all you're looking for. And this tight end crosser is going to be open a ton. If they do not user him, he's probably going to be open. This out route pulls all the flat zones to the sideline. Y, which is a deep crosser, pulls everything deep and in. Slant, wide open. So I run this play on like 3rd and 15 all the time because the way I see it is, I'm going to get 15 from my slant. I'm going to get 15 plus for my deep crosser. And even if I don't get 15 from my slant, I'm going to be way closer to a first down. I'll just go for it on 4th. Forgot to stem my guy, but like right here, they both separate versus man coverage. Should just block my running back in that case. Do it again. Good example of what happens. That's why we stem that wheel route out. Get more spacing for this deep crosser. That outside cornerback just cannot make a play on him. Click on. That's just KOs being annoying. Do it again. There's your slant. So this play is insanely good. I run this play all the time. Next, we have cheat/wheel cross, and we have a couple setups for this one. And all you're going to do for this one is you're going to in-route your ISO receiver, which is B. And by ISO, it just means isolation. He's the only one that's over there. So we'll in-route B. And then we're going to stem him up 3 times with the D-pad. So Y, B, hold LB, and then do up on the D-pad 3 times. And this is the proper depth that you want. And this is kind of like, a dagger concept. I talk about this all the time. I think this is really good in both Madden 25 and College Football 25. But now we have a motion streak. And really all you're doing is reading between this deep dig, and the shallow crosser from Y. But you can also read the wheel from X. You can read him off the rip, see if he's open. He's not in this case, but this shallow crosser is going to separate versus man. And so will the deep dig. But against zone, sometimes that wheel route from X is going to be open. So you can definitely look for him. Kind of like that. It'll be versus a soft zone. If they play a hard flat, that'll take it away. I think you can also stem that guy out a little bit more. Yeah, you can stem him out a little bit further if you'd like. Oh, and another fun fact. You can stem your cheat motion. So look at this. Y, A, hold LB. And you can stem him out as well. That's for any of the cheat motions. So just an extra tip. Okay, let's do it again. There's a deep dig. I think you guys get the concept. Look for the high-low between the dig and the shallow crosser, and then sometimes hit the wheel if they're not playing hard flats. And then for cheat/wheel cross number 2, we are going to corner route the tight end. We're going to post the ISO receiver. We're going to drag the top receiver. And then you can block your running back if you'd like, but you kind of have like a makeshift screen in some cases versus zone where you can throw the running back and the drag will become a blocker. So it's kind of up to you if you want to keep him or not. But let's have a look. Against man coverage, you're really looking at your corner route, your post route, and your drag. So like right here, this is a good example of, you know, if you throw it at the right time, your drag can become a blocker for you against zone. And it's just kind of up to you if you want to keep that or not. So like right here, this is going to be a cover 0 probably. So I would, you know, not run that. I'd probably actually keep this shallow crosser. Actually, I wouldn't. I'm going to keep the tight end corner and then drag. We'll run it like this. So we still have those 3 man beating routes. Right here against double mug, I'll go ahead and block my running back as well. I'd rather have the extra blocker than, you know, potential screen. Let's run this again. Let's read the tight end, see if we can get him open. And I will say cover 2. Cover 2 is going to do a good job against this, like a Tampa 2. But that's really the only thing that comes to mind. Right here, you can throw the corner over a flat, like for a cover 3. So right here, this is a cover 2. You're going to have to hit the drag or the running back most of the time. If they don't have a mid read, sometimes you can hit that, but overall, cover 2 will do a great job against this. There's your corner route versus man. Next, we have mesh spot, and this first setup is a quick snap setup because you only have to do one thing. Just put the ISO receiver on a post, and that's it. Just read between the 2 drags, and in some cases, you'll have the post because the user is going to stay shallow from these drags, and the post will not be usered. Against man coverage, one of these drags will win. You also have a running back wheel, which is great because those just don't exist anymore. Like they're pretty rare because you can't hot route them. I mean, if you have ability, you can, but just read between these 2 drags. It's very simple. Now, the only thing that's going to make this kind of a difficult play is very heavy pressure and a good user. That's really the only thing that comes to mind. And if it really comes to it, you can block your running back. Right there, I should have hit the running back. They were playing hard flats. Like right here, I'll block my running back. We'll just give ourselves a little bit more time. Hit one of these drags. But yeah, it's a basic setup. Get these 2 drags to hold the user down, and then hit the post if you can. And then for mesh spot number 2, we are going to post the top receiver, which is Y. And then we're going to flat the ISO receiver. And we only have 3 routes that we're looking at. You know, the running back wheel is going to be our first read. Then we'll move to the drag, and then our third read will be the post. So let's have a look. Here, drag's open. I'll just take my yardage. I'm not a very greedy player, to be honest with you. If something's open, I'm throwing it. You never know how long you have in the pocket, so I like to do that. Now, like right here, this is going to be a man coverage, maybe a cover 0. And you have to identify that quickly. If it's a cover 0, you probably want more quick man beaters on the field because like we have a flat that's never going to separate versus man coverage. We have a post that takes a while to break. So it's not the greatest cover 0 beater, to be honest. It's more of a zone beater, but it can be good versus man coverage, especially if they're doing like a 4-man disengage out of double mug or something. It'll be fine versus that. Okay, I didn't think that outside cornerback was going to match to him. He peeled off the flat. That's my fault. So again, cover 0. You do not probably want to run, like this fade from X is kind of useless. I would probably run a corner route on him, maybe stem him down so he breaks faster. Then run it like this. And he doesn't separate there, but that's like what I'm looking for. I just need a quicker route. Not the fade because he's not really going to win. And the flat's really not going to win either. Here's your post, and this will actually bomb cover 3, I'm pretty sure. Let me quickly check that before I end this clip. Mesh spot versus a cover 3. And I'm pretty sure this will win. Inside third will not play it. Okay, so it's not really a bomb, but there's a window. Inside third won't play it, and the outside cornerback isn't really going to be in a position to play it. So just possession catch that. Anyways, that's going to be it for the scheme. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want me to do a part 3 to this Packers playbook, just drop a like. That's the best way to communicate that you guys want me to keep making content like this. And then if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And then as always, if you want to win more games, go to acemadden.com and become a member. You'll gain access to every single scheme that we have on the site. See you guys in the next one.